Hudson's very own Emily Meyer with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner tonight. It's time to play basketball on the River Channel. We've got the Hudson Raiders tonight playing host to the Rice Lake Warriors. The Raiders come into this game 1-4 overall, 0-2 in the Big Rivers Conference. Rice Lake, they are the beasts of the conference, 6-0 overall, 3-0 in the Big Rivers Conference. Starting for the Warriors, Ben Wittes, a sophomore guard at 6 foot tall. Number 12, Adam West, a senior guard at 6'12". And then a sophomore, Henry Ellenson, 6'9". A senior, Elwood Ellenson, 6'7". And a junior, Brandon Chrisman, a 6-foot guard. For the Raiders, we got senior guard, 6'2", Alex Newell. Senior, 5'11", Dan Kelly. Junior, 6'1", Miles Lewis. At the forward, it's Alex Herring, a 6'2" junior, and Steph Smith, a 6'5" senior, number 33. Herring enters the game averaging 18 points per game. Steph Smith, 9.8 points per game. Henry Ellenson, the big guy for Rice Lake, averages 20 a game. His cohort, Ellenson, averages 9.3. Brandon Chrisman, 9.7, also from the guard position. Elwood Ellenson will tip for Rice Lake, and he is going to go against Alex Herring for the Raiders. So Herring and Ellenson, we're about ready to play basketball. Herring tips it over to Rice Lake, and it's Warrior basketball. Over to the big Ellenson. The smaller Ellenson for three. Dan Kelly with the rebound. Elwood at 6'7". The other guy, Henry, at 6'9". Get it to Herring. Herring will go to the post, fire it up for two. Herring will make it 2-0 Raiders. Alex Herring bounced his back off Ellenson, made himself some room, and got it to go. Here's Ellenson. Covered by Herring. Tries to shoot from outside and can't get it to go. I think it was a two. Either way, it will be Rice Lake Warrior basketball. Goes off of Miles Lewis. Wittes will inbound. Wittes to Ellenson, and he's going to get fouled. I believe it will be on Steph Smith. Smith picking up an early foul. Elwood Ellenson will go to the line. He's a senior. Misses it, and the Raiders come down. Drive in, and now it's Steph Smith. Smith fires from three. He's got it. Steph Smith from way downtown. It's 5-2 Raiders. Ellenson tries to bank it in from 5 feet out. Can't get it to go. Here's Alex Newell. Newell ahead to Steph Smith. Smith down to Miles Lewis. Miles Lewis is going to kick it over to Steph Smith and now to Kelly. Kelly over to Newell. Newell inside of Steph Smith at the elbow. Turnaround jumper, no good. Herring can't come down with the rebound. Miles Lewis is going to go after it. He gets it, kicks it over to Kelly. Raiders reset the offense. Kelly to Miles Lewis. Lewis over to Steph Smith from the wing. He'll get it back to Newell. Newell to Herring. Actually, that's Steph Smith. Now down to Herring. Herring in the paint. Pull up. Can't get it to fall in. And Rice Lake will come down with it. It's Ellenson. Ellenson takes the ball up the court. Makes some room for himself in the lane. Tries to get it up there. Herring comes down with the ball. Here's Miles Lewis. Miles Lewis on the break. Tries a reverse layup. Hits the rim. Raiders control. Kelly over to Herring. Herring now gets it over to Newell. Newell trying to work it down into the lane to Miles Lewis. Lewis is fouled. going to call the foul on Wittes, his first and the team's first foul. Steph Smith will inbound for the Raiders. Smith to Kelly. Kelly surveys the defense from the corner. Brings it out and gets it to Miles Lewis. Miles Lewis over to Alex Newell. Newell down to Herring in the post. Herring puts the ball on the floor and will bring it back out. Gets it over to Miles Lewis. Lewis down to Steph Smith. Smith covered by Elwood. And a three ball by Alex Newell. It's good! Raiders lead it 8-2 early on. 5:22 remaining in the first quarter. Wittes makes a move. Tries to get it to Henry Ellenson, and Ellenson's going to pick up a foul. Foul called on Miles Lewis. That's his first of the evening. Second team foul for the Raiders. Rice Lake will work it down to the corner. Adam West for three, and he's not Batman. Rice Lake pushing the ball. Alex Newell from the wing gets it over to Joe Kelly. Kelly now to Steph Smith. Smith takes it down the lane, tries to get it over to Kelly. It's going to be knocked out of bounds by Adam West. 8-2 Hudson, 4:55 remaining in the first quarter. Steph Smith will inbound for the Raiders. Gets it to Herring. Herring gets a pick, and he'll fire from three, and it's going to be no good. Bounces it off the cables, and Rice Lake will take over. Wittes will bring it up the floor, and Miles Lewis is on it. Wittes loses the handle, now gets to Adam West. West over to Brandon Crispin. Crispin to the corner, and Wittes traveled. It'll be Raider basketball. Rice Lake turns it over once again, and Alex Herring will inbound for the Raiders. Looks like Rice Lake is going to set up a press here. Get it into Kelly. Kelly ahead to Herring. Herring will cross the timeline and give it to Miles Lewis in the corner, and Lewis to Newell. Newell will set up the offense with Elwood on him. Elwood Ellenson. Steph Smith over to Lewis. Lewis to Kelly. Herring trying to make a move. Gets it over to Miles Lewis. Alex Newell now from the wing. Kelly to Steph Smith. Smith with an open look for three. Can't get it to go. Newell rebounds. Miles Lewis now will kick it back out to Smith again. Now Herring. Herring tries to make a move baseline. Covered up there by Ellenson. Joe Kelly went out with the basketball. And he tried to kick it over to Miles Lewis, and it's picked off, and now Ellenson with the easy bucket. So Elwood Ellenson with 4 points here in the first quarter. All four of Rice Lake's points. Steph Smith will bring the ball up the court for the Raiders. Gets it to Miles Lewis. Lewis will reset the offense. Steph Smith in the corner now. Steph Smith gets a pick, and now they'll kick it out to Newell. Newell down to Herring. Herring trying to make some room. Gets it back out to Newell for three. Bounces it off the rim. That one hit the cable too, but not called. Rice Lake will get possession anyway. Gets it over to Adam West. Adam West covered by Kelly. Gets a pick. Kelly covers up. They run the pick and roll down to Ellenson, and Ellenson ran it perfectly. 8-6 now. Raiders lead trimmed to just 2 points with 2:45 left in the first quarter. Steph Smith looking to work it down to Herring. Nothing doing. Now they get it to Herring. Herring pulls up, foot on the line. I think Ellenson got a piece of it. 6'9" Ellenson. It's going to be a tough matchup for Herring offensively tonight. Turnaround there by Ellenson. Can't get it to go. Rebound Steph Smith. Newell ahead to Kelly, and Kelly says Rice Lake touched it. The officials say otherwise. It will be Rice Lake basketball. The larger Ellenson, the sophomore Henry, Hasn't really showed much offensively, but it's going to be a tough matchup for Alex Herink on the other end of the floor. It's been Elwood Ellenson with the points for the Raiders or for the Warriors so far tonight. Work it down to Adam West. West will pull up for three. No good. Rebound to Kelly. Kelly fires it ahead. Giordana gets it to go. Raiders stretch the lead to 10-6 on Giordana's basket. Nice look there from Kelly. Chrisman now over to Ellenson. Ellenson out to Wittes. Wittes to Elwood Ellenson. They work it down low to Henry. Henry, the big guy, made himself some room and got it to go. 10-8, Hudson, 1:18 remaining in the first quarter. Kelly brings the ball up for Hudson. Jake Giordana now. And they will kick it over. Ellenson comes up with it after Jordan Bellinger's basket was short. Here's West. Kicking it over to Ellenson. Ellenson for three, and he makes it fall. And Rice Lake with their first lead of the evening on Ellenson's three. Giordana now handling the ball for the Raiders. Tried to give it to Herink. Herink not there. Kelly will try to save it, but it's going to be Rice Lake basketball with 41 seconds left in the first quarter. Everything going the Raiders' way early on in this first quarter, and now Rice Lake putting some points on the board here. Wittes over to West. And now Ellenson. He's going to drive the lane and gets the floater to fall. So just when I said Henry Ellenson wasn't doing well offensively, he put 7 points on the board. 13-10 now, Rice Lake. Raiders fired. Matthew Sparstead hitting the three, and that ties the game up at 13 apiece. Ellenson for three at the buzzer, and he hits it. Henry Ellenson was pretty quiet the first half of the first quarter and then exploded over the last 3 minutes, put 10 points on the board for the Warriors. Both the Ellenson brothers with all 16 of Rice Lake's baskets. For the Raiders, Alex Newell with three, Jake Giordano with two, Herink with two, Steph Smith with three, and Matthew Sparstead with three. And that leaves us with a 16-13 Rice Lake lead. Pretty cleanly played first quarter, just 2 team fouls on Hudson, 1 team foul on Rice Lake. Earlier tonight, the girls team played Rice Lake as well, and we will have that game next week for you on the River Channel. Don't want to give away the outcome of it. If you want to know the outcome, you can check your local media sources, but we won't give it away for those of you who want to watch next week's game on without knowing the score. So this game here airing this week. Next week will be the girls' game. So it'll be Raider basketball here to start the second quarter. Raiders trailing by just 3 points. Raiders have been playing some better basketball over the last few weeks. Started out kind of slow, but starting to come together here for this basketball squad. Playing this Rice Lake team pretty tough. Herring for three, bounces it off the rim short. Rice Lake will come up with it. Here's Henry Ellenson trying to get it to Elwood Ellenson, but it's knocked loose. Bellinger comes up with the ball for the Raiders, and now Giordana handling the basketball. Rice Lake has come up with a press, and they get it ahead to Newell. Newell fires for three, wide open, short, and Rice Lake will come up with it once again. Rice Lake pushing it on an offense as well. Get it to Elwood Ellenson. Ellenson can't get it to go. The rebound, Giordana gets it over to Herring. Herink back to Giordana. Now they try to get back to Herink. Herink handles the ball. He's by himself, 3-on-1. Behringer pulls it back, and now a 3-ball by Sparstead. Sparstead makes it fall in, and the Raiders have tied it at 16 apiece. Here's Adam West. West drives, picks up his dribble, gets it to Elwood Ellenson. Elwood, the senior, gets it over to Henry Ellenson, the sophomore. Henry Ellenson's going to drive the lane. Newell was trying to pick up the charge there, but Ellenson kind of slipped by him and got the fall in. Ellenson with 12 points already. Now the Warriors come up with a steal, but it's knocked away. It'll be Raider basketball. (18-16) Rice Lake with 6:34 remaining in the second quarter. Herink will inbound for Hudson. Herink gets it to Sparstead, back over to Herink. Ellenson's going to defend, and they'll get a call on Ellenson. He doesn't like it. Elwood Ellenson picks up its first personal foul. It's the team's second foul. Joe Kelly now will bring the ball up the floor for the Raiders. So it's Dan Kelly. Get the Kelly boys mixed up once in a while. Steph Smith over to Dan Kelly. Kelly to Sparstead. Sparstead over to Steph Smith. Smith fires from three. That's going to be a short air ball. Herink bounced it off of Elwood Ellenson. It'll be Raider basketball. Ellenson likes to work the officials. He keeps it up here. He may get a technical foul. Every time they've blown the whistle and he's been around, he's had something to say to the officials. Doesn't look like he's saying anything too bad. The official's still smiling at him, but he certainly works him. Here's Kelly. Kelly over to Sparstead. Herink wide open in the lane, but it gave Sean McGee an opportunity to get in there, steal the ball away. Here's McGee from the wing. McGee over to Elwood Ellenson for three. And he will bounce that off the back of the rim. Sparstead tried to come out with it, knocked away by McGee, and it'll be Raider basketball. If you watch sports here on the River Channel, you've probably seen the football team, and Sean McGee is the quarterback of the Rice Lake football team. Really good quarterback. Steph Smith trying to drive, and it'll be Henry Ellenson called for the block, and he has a puzzled look on his face as well. Third team foul for Rice Lake. First foul on Ellenson. Sparstead will inbound for the Raiders. Elwood Ellenson will take a seat. Herink handling the ball, defended by Henry Ellenson. Here's Newell. Newell trying to work it down to Steph Smith. Steph Smith in the post, going to work it into the lane, tripped up. No whistle, it'll be Rice Lake basketball. Here comes Henry Ellenson. He's stripped away by Sparstead, but Sparstead called for the foul, and Ellenson will go to the line. First foul on Sparstead. It's the team's third. Ellenson will go to the line. He has 12 points tonight. First trip to the charity stripe, though, and he misses his first. Knocks that one down, and Rice Lake takes a 19-16 lead. 5:23 to go. Alex Newell found himself wide open, gets it to Joe Kelly. Kelly tries the reverse layup and can't get it to fall in. Rice Lake now on the break, gets it to Henry Ellenson in the corner. Ellenson hits the three. Herink ran into him. No whistle called. 22-16 now, Rice Lake. Joe Kelly beating the press. Kelly over to Sparstead. Sparstead loses balance, but will take it into the lane. Tries the floater and gets it to fall in. You got to throw it up there to get it over Ellenson. Sparstead did and got it to go. Three ball this time. Rice Lake, it was Brandon Chrisman for three. And once again, the Raiders ahead of the defense. Adam West caught up, but Sparstead is fouled and he will go to the line. Adam West will pick up the foul. That's his first and the fourth team foul on Rice Lake. Sparstead will go to the line for 2. Sparstead, the leading scorer so far tonight for the Raiders with 8, and that makes it 9. 25-19, Rice Lake, 4:34 remaining in the second quarter. Sparstead hits that one as well, and it's a 25-20 lead now for Rice Lake. Joe Kelly will put the pressure on here. Wittes handling the ball for Rice Lake. They get a pick, and now Ellenson, and somehow Steph Smith not called for a foul there. Get it down to Ellenson once again. Now over to Wittes. Wittes, top of the key 3 here for, once again, Chrisman. 28-20 now, Rice Lake. Kelly over to Sparstead. Sparstead hounded, gets it over to Steph Smith in the corner. Smith out to Kelly. Kelly takes a little hit but recovers. Three-pointer for Newell. It falls in. 3-ball for Alex Newell, and it's a 23-28 lead now. Second 3 of the night for Newell. He's got 6. Gets it over to Ellenson. Ellenson in the corner will drive lane and pull up. Can't get it to go. Rebound for Herink, and he's going to be fouled. The foul on Sean McGee. That's his first and the 15th foul for the Warriors. 3:22 remaining in the second quarter. Raiders trail by 5. Herink out to Steph Smith, back over to Herink. And Herink throws it out of bounds. Defended by Elwood Ellenson, who has entered the game once again. Both Ellenson boys on the floor now. The elder Ellenson 2 inches shorter than the sophomore. Here's Wittes. Defended by Kelly. Gets it over to Adam West. West trying to work it down in the post to Ellenson. Ellenson with the ball will pull up and gets it to go. Nice move by Ellenson. 30-23 Rice Lake. Herink fronted them. Swung around there and gambled for it. But just a nice hoop there. Steph Smith, the pull-up jumper. 5 points on the evening for Smith, 25-30 Rice Lake. Miles Lewis with the defense here. They'll kick it over to Wittes. Wittes defended by Kelly. Over to West. West will work it down into Elwood Ellenson. Elwood can't get the first one to go, can't get the second one to go either. Pulled down this time by Brandon Chrisman, and Chrisman is sent away. Chrisman will inbound now for Rice Lake. No, they'll make it Adam West. Giordano will come in for Matthew Sparstead. Adam West inbounds. Coach Jason Swavely didn't like the way this possession was starting, and Raiders had a hard time just getting the ball, getting the offense started. So 1:41 remaining here in the second quarter. The Raiders call their first timeout of the night. Henry Ellenson enters the game tonight, averaging 20 points per game. He already has 18 in this one. Chrisman was 6 for Rice Lake, and Elwood Ellenson was 6 for the Raiders. Alex Newell with 6, Giordano with 2, Herink with 2, Steph Smith with 5, and Matthew Sparstead with 10 points for the Raiders. Possession arrow in Rice Lake's favor. 5 team fouls for Rice Lake, just 3 for Hudson. Giordano will inbound. Gets it over to Kelly. Kelly nearly loses control and It's going to be Wittes picking up the foul. That's second personal for Wittes, sixth personal for Rice Lake. The Raiders will go to the line in the next foul. Giordano now from the wing. Giordano hounded by Adam West. He gets to Miles Lewis. Miles Lewis back to Giordano. Giordano to Joe Kelly. Dan Kelly, excuse me. Giordano for three. It's short. Rebound, Henry Ellenson. He throws it well ahead for Chrisman, and Chrisman gets it to go. Lays it in there, and it's a 7-point lead now for Rice Lake. 32-25, 59 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Kelly tried to pick up a foul there, can't get it to go. Tried to get it down there for Bellinger and turns it over. Here comes Rice Lake. Wittes now turns it over. Joe Kelly comes up with the basketball. He's got Miles Lewis, tried to shoot for three, but West came in behind him. Here's Chrisman on the break. Looked like he was going for Elwood Ellenson, couldn't get it, but Elwood Ellenson comes up with the basketball anyway. And now it's a 34-25 lead for Rice Lake. Raiders turn it over once again. Miles Lewis now scrambling on the floor. Henry Ellenson picks it up, gets it over to Chrisman. Chrisman now to Wittes. Wittes back to Chrisman. Rice Lake will set the offense with 15 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Wittes defended by Kelly, 10 seconds remaining now. 7, 6, over to Henry Ellenson. Henry Ellenson fires for three, and Steph Smith just cleared him out, and once again, Ellenson does not get the call in the corner. Just call it like I see it, folks. I like to be a supporter of the home crowd, but Steph Smith certainly fouled Ellenson, and it's the second time tonight. He hasn't been called over there, but hey, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose on those. Kelly now with the basketball. Kelly will let it fly from three-quarters court, bounces it off the glass, but it does not go in. So we'll go to halftime with the Rice Lake Warriors leading it 34, the Hudson Raiders with 25. Third quarter action coming up in just a moment. second half about to get underway, and for Rice Lake, the scoring pretty much the way they do it throughout the season. The Ellenson boys do most of the scoring. It's Henry Ellenson with 18 points already in this contest. He averages 20 a game. Chrisman with 8, and that's usually kind of what he does. Elwood Ellenson also with 8. No other scorers for Rice Lake. For the Raiders, Alex Newell, 2 3-pointers. He's got 6 points. Jake Giordano with 2. Alex Herring averaging 18 points a game with just 2 right now. Steph Smith with 5. And Matthew Sparstead with 10 points. He had a 7-point explosion at the beginning of the second quarter. Rice Lake will get possession to start the second half. Starting for the Raiders, Miles Lewis, Steph Smith, Alex Herring, Alex Newell, and Dan Kelly. Here's Wittes for Rice Lake. 25-34, Rice Lake with the lead. Get it over to Elwood Ellenson. Elwood Ellenson down to Henry Ellenson. 2 guys covered him. A lot of the folks on the Raiders side wanted to travel, but it's going to be a foul called here on Alex Herring, and Ellenson will go to the line. First foul of the night for Herring. Ellenson will shoot 2. Gets the first one to fall in. Ellenson now 2 of 3 from the line. It's that one to go as well. 36-25 now, Rice Lake. Here come the Raiders. Dan Kelly. Over to Steph Smith. Smith defended by Elwood Ellenson. Miles Lewis. Over to Herring. Herring drives the lane, kicks it out to Miles Lewis. Lewis pulls it up and knocks it down. The Raiders cut into the lead. It's 27-36. Miles Lewis, his first bucket of the night. Henry Ellenson. And Rice Lake will turn it over. Herring defending Ellenson. Ellenson wanted a foul, but it will be Raider basketball. Steph Smith to Kelly. Kelly defended by Wittes. Kelly to Newell. Newell for 3. Can't get it to go, and Rice Lake will push it up. Elwood Ellenson slips, but keeps the handle on the basketball. Over to Wittes now, and they'll reset. Gets a pick, and Wittes going to take it himself down the lane. Newell pulls down the rebound. Here comes the Raiders. Gets it over to Kelly. Kelly to Miles Lewis. Miles Lewis pulls up from just inside the 3-point. Can't get it to go. Rebound to Adam West. West over to Elwood Ellenson. Elwood Ellenson defended by the Kellys, and Elwood Ellenson gets it to go. 10 points now for Ellenson. Alex Newell and Kelly there couldn't slow him down. Herring now with the basketball, being hounded over there by Chrisman. It's going to be a foul called on Chrisman. That's his first. First team foul for Rice Lake as well. Steph Smith over to Kelly. Kelly now to Miles Lewis. Lewis going to go baseline. Lewis pulls up. Can't get it to go. Tries to lay it in, but he will draw the foul and go to the line. Foul's going to go on Chrisman. He picks up 2 quick ones. 6:12 left in the third quarter. Rice Lake leading at 38-27. Miles Lewis goes to the line for 2. It's the first one. Raiders 3 for 3 from the free throw line. And Lewis gets the back end to go as well. 29-38 now. Rice Lake leading by 9. Wittes with the ball, defended by Kelly. Over to Adam West. West drives, gets it down to Ellenson. Ellenson, 2 guys on him. They'll kick it over to Wittes cross court. Wittes, baseline, pulls it up, lays it in. Nice move by Wittes. That's his first points of the night. Raiders push the ball forward to Lewis. Lewis pulls up, shoots it, defended by Ellenson, and bounces off the back of the rim. Here come the Warriors, leading it 40-29. Gets it over to West. West pulls up from the baseline, can't get it to go. Rebound Chrisman, and Chrisman gets the follow. 10 points now for Brandon Chrisman, and Rice Lake leads it 42-29. Kelly ahead to Herink. Herink over to Miles Lewis. Lewis from just inside the arc gets it to fall in. Lewis with 6 points in the third quarter, and that's the Raiders' only points. Wittes defended by Kelly. Kelly picks his pocket. Kelly's going to go in for the easy lay-in. Gets it to fall in. Nice defense by Kelly, and he finishes it off with the bucket. Cuts the lead back down to 9. 42-33 Rice Lake. 4:52 remaining in this third quarter. Now Kelly's going to get called for a foul. Nice sly move there by Wittes. Had Kelly right behind him, slowed down, and Kelly just kind of walked into him. Wittes, just a sophomore, kind of played a senior move there. Sparstead will come in for Hudson. Sparstead on Adam West here. Leading scorer for the Raiders, Matt Sparstead with 10 points here. Ellenson, defended by Herink. Ellenson spins. Steph Smith stops the dribble, gets it back over to Ellenson. Ellenson with a little fake, can't get anything to go. Herink there once again. Now Wittes. Wittes to Chrisman. Chrisman drives the lane. He's got plenty of room. Steph Smith pulls it down. Here's Sparstead. Sparstead tried to get it ahead to Herink, and the big guy Ellenson comes up with the basketball. Ellenson looking inside, pulled away by Bellinger, and it will be Raider basketball on the possession arrow. (42-33) Rice Lake, 4:09 remaining in the third quarter. Herink to Kelly. Kelly defended by Adam West. Kelly's going to bring it up. Raiders clear out. Over to Sparstead. Sparstead kicks it to Kelly. Kelly over to Steph Smith. Steph Smith covered by Ellenson. Sparstead over to Herink. Herink, nice move, gets the basket and the foul. He'll go to the line. 42-35 now. The Raiders cut into that lead, and Herink will go to the line. Now that is a senior move by a junior as he took the ball into the hoop there. He kind of leaned in and got the foul on Elwood Ellenson. Gets the free throw to fall in as well, and it's 42-36. Lead down to 6 now. 3:44 remaining in the third quarter. West over to McGee, and a pull-up for Ellenson. That's going to be short. Elwood Ellenson calling for a foul. Gets nothing. Will be Raider basketball. Here's Herink. Herink over to Kelly. He's going to be called for travel. Good call. Adam West will bring the ball up the floor for Rice Lake. Gets it to McGee, who gets it to Ellenson. Ellenson with the floater. Can't get it to go. Herink trying to draw the charge, but the foul's going to go on him. That's Herink's second. Ellenson will go to the line for 2. Ellenson hits that one. He's now 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Misses that one off the front of the rim. 43-36 Raiders. Herink is mugged, and this time Elwood Ellenson lays it in. There's Jordan Bellinger going to kick it back to Herink, who gets it over to Kelly, and the Raiders will clear out. Kelly brings the ball up the floor, loses the handle. Steph Smith gets it, pulls up, and gets it to go in. Baseline pull-up from 6 feet away, and Steph Smith drops it in there. 45-38 Rice Lake, 7-point lead. Adam West drives, and he's going to draw a foul. Will go to the line. going to be called on Steph Smith. And that's Smith's second, fourth team foul on Hudson. Adam West will go to the line. That's his first point of the contest. Extends the Rice lead to 8 points, 46-38. Elwood Ellenson will take a seat. Austin Angel comes into the game for Rice Lake, number 50. And West touches every bit of rim but gets it to go in. Joe Kelly gets it to Sparstead. Sparstead will set the offense, pressured by Adam West, gets it over to Herrick and now to Kelly. Kelly thinks about pulling up the three, thinks otherwise, gets it to Steph Smith and now to Sparstead. Bellinger trying to post up. Here's Herrick, plenty of room, pulls it up and can't get it to fall in. Rebound, but Bellinger steals it away. Chrisman came up with a rebound and then Bellinger took it from him. And that cuts the lead back down to 7 at 47-42, 12 left in the third. Adam West in trouble, gets it to Ellenson. Ellenson tried to pass it over to McGee and throws it away. It'll be Raider basketball. Raiders had that lead cut down to 6 before Rice Lake was able to extend it once again. Now it's down to 7. With an opportunity to get back into the game here. Kelly to Sparstead. Sparstead now to Bellinger. Bellinger over to Kelly. And Steph Smith now to Sparstead. Herring trying to post up. Rice Lake will come down in front. Steph Smith for three. Got it! Steph Smith, the three ball from the wing, and it's a 47-43 game. Rice Lake will call a timeout. Their first. Oh, check that. They turn it over. Rice Lake will turn it over. I was looking down at my notes there, and Rice Lake turns it over. Raiders got the lead cut down to 4 at 47-43. Sparstead ahead to Steph Smith. Steph Smith to Bellinger. Bellinger over to Alex Newell. Newell defended by Wittes. And now back over to Sparstead. Steph Smith gets it down to Bellinger. Bellinger, their turnaround, but it's blocked by Angel, but Newell steals it away. And Elwood Ellenson will re-enter the game for Rice Lake. Steph Smith to inbound. Gets it over to Herrick. Herrick with the reverse layup. Can't get it to fall in. Rice Lake tries to save it. Smith comes up with it. Smith with the reverse layup. Bellinger with the ball, and Bellinger's fouled. Bellinger will go to the line. Foul called on Wittes. That's his third. Bellinger to the line for the first time tonight. Gets it to go. Touches plenty of iron, but it falls through the net. 47-44, Rice Lake. Hudson has cut the lead to just 3 now. And Bellinger swishes the second. The lead down to 2 at 47-45. Wittes will bring the ball up the floor for the Warriors. They'll be defended by Sparstead. Wittes gets a pick and will take it down the lane, and he will get the basket and the foul. The foul going to be called on Sparstead. That's his second of the contest. Oh, check that. They call offensive foul on Wittes. So offensive foul called on Wittes, and that is his 4th personal of the night. So Rice Lake will sit down Wittes, and it'll be Raider basketball. Herrick gets it to Steph Smith. Smith will give it back to Herrick. Herrick's going to bring it up the floor. Kicks it over to Sparstead. Sparstead will run the offense. Over to Alex Newell. Newell tried to kick it to Steph Smith in the corner, and the pass was errant. Doesn't like himself for it, but he'll get over it. 33 seconds now left in the third. Rice Lake clinging to a 2-point lead. Adam West will bring the ball up the floor, defended by Alex Newell. Gets it down to the Ellenson. Ellenson may have traveled, but they'll give him the basket and the foul. It's going to be called on Herring. It'll be his third foul. Ellenson is 4 of 6 from the line, shooting 66%. And gets that one to fall in, and that will take the lead to 50-45. Steph Smith now with the basketball, defended by Elwood Ellenson. Steph Smith brings it up the court, gets it to Sparstead. Sparstead down to Miles Lewis. Miles Lewis loses the handle back to Sparstead, and that's knocked away by Elwood Ellenson. It should be Raider basketball, and it will be. Elwood Ellenson once again trying to work those officials. He smiles a lot on the court. Having a good time out there. Gets it to Sparstead. Sparstead will drive and pull up, gets it off the glass. The kiss off the glass. And the Raiders cut the lead to 3 points. That's the end of the third quarter. It's 50-47 Rice Lake. The Raiders have come on here. We'll be right back in a jiff with the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter about to get underway. Here's the scoring. It is Wittes with 2, West with 2, Ellenson with 24 for Rice Lake, Crispin with 10, the other Ellenson with 12 for the Raiders. Newell with 6, Kelly with 2, Lewis with 6, Giordana 2, Herring 5. We'll get back to that in just a second. Adam West over to McGee, and now to Ellenson. They'll work it down to Henry Ellenson. They're going to call off the shot, but they are going to call a foul on Kelly. So they'll call the foul on Dan Kelly. It's his second. They'll call off the shot. Here's Ellenson. Defended by Herring. Get it over to Elwood Ellenson. Defended by Steph Smith. Elwood working it down. And the younger Ellenson can't get it to go. The foul by Chrisman, and he's fouled by Herring. Herring's fourth foul of the evening, and he's going to take a seat for a little bit. So Chrisman will shoot 2 for Rice Lake. Gets the first one to fall in. Bellinger will come in for Herring. (51-47) Rice Lake. Chrisman bounces it off the rim but gets it to fall in. 52-47 now. 5-point lead for Rice Lake. Kelly brings the ball up the floor. Over to Newell. Newell to Steph Smith. Smith will get it back to Sparstead. And now to Newell. Newell down to Bellinger. Bellinger back out to Newell. Now over to Sparstead to Steph Smith in the corner. Steph Smith pulls it up and can't get it to fall in. The rebound, Ellenson. Henry Ellenson will bring the ball up. Defended by Steph Smith. Now it's Chrisman. Working it over to McGee. McGee in the post with Newell defending. Can't get it to go, but the follow by Ellenson. Henry Ellenson makes it a 54-47 Rice Lake lead, and the Raiders will call timeout. Coach Jason Swavely wanting to talk it over. It's a good timeout right there. Rice Lake starting to get some momentum going there. And stop the action of the game here, slow things down. Let's get back to the scoring here for Hudson. I was down to Miles Lewis, who had 6, Giordana with 2, Herring with 5, Steph Smith with 10, Bellinger with 4, all in the third quarter, and Sparstead with 12. No scoring so far here for the Raiders in the fourth quarter. 6:47 remaining. Rice Lake has put 4 points on the board here in this first 1 minute 13 seconds. Team foul situation. The Raiders have had 7 team fouls called on them. Rice Lake is in the bonus, and Rice Lake has 2 fouls to give. They're sitting here with 5 team fouls. Raiders have 3 timeouts remaining. Rice Lake with the full complement of 5. Possession arrow in the Raiders' favor. Steph Smith will inbound. Gets it to Sparstead. Sparstead will bring the ball up the floor, defended by Chrisman. Gets it to Newell. Newell resets the offense. Gives it to Sparstead, now to Kelly. Kelly looking to the post for Bellinger. Doesn't throw it down there. Now Newell gets to Bellinger. Steph Smith back at the top. Sparstead for 3. Can't get it to fall in. Rebound goes to Rice Lake. McGee pulling it down. Now give it back to Elwood Ellenson. That's going to be a travel. Wow. They call a foul on Steph Smith. That was okay. Third foul of the evening for Steph Smith, and that will send Elwood Ellenson to the line for a 1-1. Ellenson drops it in short, rebound Bellinger. 54-47 Rice Lake. Here comes Sparstead. Sparstead over to Bellinger. Bellinger nearly loses the handle, gets it to Kelly. Kelly down to Newell. Newell drops it in. Newell moving without the basket, found himself an opening and gets it to fall in. Lead back down to 5. Kelly defending West and wipes out. Getting it back down to Ellenson, and Bellinger came in, was just too late in the backside help. Ellenson gets the basket to go, and he'll go to the line. First personal for Bellinger. Team 9th. Ellenson will shoot 1. Gets it to drop in. 57-49 Rice Lake. Here's Newell. Defended by West. Newell brings it up the court and gets it to Kelly. Kelly to Sparstead. Sparstead over to Steph Smith. Steph Smith back to Kelly. Now to Steph Smith and back to Sparstead. Here's Newell from the corner, defended by Adam West. Newell drives the lane and now kicks it out to Kelly. Steph Smith picks up his dribble, gets it down to Bellinger, then kicks it out to Newell. 5 minutes remaining in the game. Newell pulls up short, comes down with a rebound, tries to fire it up there again, wants to get fouled, doesn't get the foul, and here comes Rice Lake. Wittes with the ball, knocked away by Dan Kelly. Will be Rice Lake basketball, and Alex Herink will re-enter the game for Bellinger. So Herink comes into the game with 4 fouls, just under 5 minutes to play. The Raiders are in a spot where Herink may be their best offensive weapon. They need him in the game. Get it down to Ellenson. Ellenson turns it over, defended there by Steph Smith. Herink will inbound. Herink to Steph Smith and then back to Herink. Herink over to Sparstead, now over to Alex Newell. Newell to Steph Smith, now to Sparstead. Sparstead working it down to Herink. Herink working over Ellenson, fires it up there, is going to draw a foul. That's what you need to do. Second personal for Ellenson. Herink will go to the line. Herink 1 for 1 from the line tonight. And gets that one to fall in. 57-50 now, Rice Lake. Herring swishes that one. It's back down to a 6-point lead. 57-51, Warriors over the Raiders. Adam West over to Ellenson. Ellenson will work Steph Smith down the lane. Shoot for three is Chrisman, and Chrisman gets it to go. Third three-pointer of the night for Chrisman, and the lead back to 9 now for Rice Lake. 4:12 remaining in the game. Sparstead brings up the floor, loses the handle, and they'll call it for over and back. They say Sparstead touched it first. It'll be Rice Lake basketball. Big possession here coming up. And Jason Swavely will call a timeout. So the Raiders trailing by 9. It'll be Rice Lake basketball. The Raiders need to come up with a stop here, because if this lead gets back into double digits with just 4:05 remaining, it's going to be tough to come back from that. Rice Lake coming into this game 6-0, 3-0 in the Big Rivers. The Raiders 1-4. After tonight's game, the Raiders will travel to a tournament next Thursday and Friday. And Rice Lake will take on Northwestern later this week before heading over to the central part of the state for the Century Classic. They'll take on Point, Stevens Point in the 28th. Adam West will inbound for Rice Lake, gets it to Wittes. Wittes playing with 4 fouls. Alex Herring, 4 fouls for the Raiders. And Ellenson is going to cough it up. So that's what the Raiders needed. They needed to force a turnover, and they do. Now they got to come up with a basket. Herring to Kelly. Raiders clear out. Kelly will bring the ball up the court. Kelly over to Sparstead, and now over to Alex Newell, works it down to Herring. Herring in the post, the turnaround, gets it to go. The left-hander gets it to fall in, and Herring has been sort of quiet throughout the game, but he's heating up now. Alex Newell with the steal. Newell to the basket. They say he stepped on the sideline over there, and it'll be Rice Lake ball. 60-53. Rice Lake leading this one with 3:32 remaining in the game. Newell will defend, and now Wittes with Joe Kelly on him. Dan Kelly. If I make another Kelly mistake, Dan Kelly stripped it. And they're going to give the timeout to Rice Lake. Thought they were going to call him for a travel, but they give the timeout to Rice Lake. And the Warriors will now talk it over. Their big guy, Henry Ellenson, with 5 points in this quarter. Chrisman with 5. Elwood Ellenson with 0 in this quarter. For the Raiders, it's Alex Newell with 2 and Herring with 4. Foul situation, Wittes with 4. No other foul problems for Rice Lake. For the Raiders, it's Herring with 4 and Steph Smith with 3. Raiders will be in the 1-1 on the next foul that Rice Lake commits. And Rice Lake will be in the double bonus, shooting 2 the next time the Raiders commit a foul. Possession arrow in the Raiders' favor. .321 left to play. Chrisman to inbound. Gets it to Adam West. Adam West defended by Newell. West looking for an opening, doesn't find one. Gets it to Wittes. Back over to Chrisman. Chrisman trying to pick up a pick. Doesn't get it. Trying to set a pick now for the big guy. Ellenson drives the lane, defended by Smith, and Smith pulls down the rebound. Alex Newell now with the ball. Gets it to Kelly. Raiders trail by 7. 2:53 left in the game. Kelly picks up his dribble, gets it over to Sparstead. Now Sparstead in trouble, and he turns it over. Elwood Ellenson coming down the court. May have traveled. Not called. Sparstead can't come up with it. Back over to Ellenson. Ellenson lays it in and gets the foul. They call the foul on Newell. That's his first. Ellenson gets the basket to drop and will shoot a free throw. Gets that one to go as well. Lead to 10 points now for Rice Lake. 63-53. Newell will bring the ball up the floor for the Raiders. Here's Kelly. Over to Steph Smith. Steph Smith to Newell, taking it down the lane, gets it to go right over Ellenson. And once again, Newell creating baskets by moving without the ball. Kind of ran right down the key, and nice look there, and he finished it off over the big guy. 63-55, Rice Lake. Ellenson defended by Steph Smith. Ellenson will take it down the lane, now kicks it to Adam West, back out to Wittes. Wittes to Henry Ellenson. Ellenson's going to slow down the offense. Up by 8, Steph Smith's going to be called for the foul. Crowd wanted to be called for it the last time. This time they'll call it on him. That's probably one of those deals where the foul's just as good. You can't allow Rice Lake just to keep running clock when you're down by 8 points. Ellenson hits the first one, bounces it off the front of the rim. Sean McGee will come in the game for Wittes. Ellenson hits the second one, and that extends the lead back out to 10. 65-55. Rice Lake, 1:39 remaining in the game. Kelly will bring the ball up the floor, gets it to Steph Smith. Smith to Newell. Newell back to Kelly. Kelly loses the handle. Out to Sparstead for 3, and he can't get the fall in. West will come with the rebound, but he's trapped. And Rice Lake will call timeout. A good spot there to call timeout. This guy was in trouble in the corner there in the trap. So Rice Lake with a 10-point lead, 1:18 to go, and they will inbound. Hate to foul here when they're in the double bonus, but Rice Lake seems more than content just to run this clock down. You play in the pro league or the collegiate level, you got a shot clock, but you're in high school basketball, you got a 10-point lead, you can just walk around with the basketball for the rest of the game. McGee will inbound for Rice Lake. The Raiders will not put a man on him, but they've got the press set up. And we've got a play stoppage. Not sure what's going on. They're not going to charge Rice Lake with a timeout, but I don't know what that was all about. Either way, Rice Lake got a free look at the Raider defense, and it's a fresh 5 seconds. You get into Ellenson, defended by Miles Lewis, and now Rice Lake back over to Elwood Ellenson and Adam West. And the Raiders will foul. I believe it's going to be called on Alex Newell. Nope, they're going to call it on Sparstead. That's his second. Adam West will go to the line for 2. West is 2 for 2 already tonight from the line. Those are his only points, and he hits this one as well. 66-55 Hudson. So Smith and Herrick return to the game. Coach Swavely moving those guys out on defense as they both have 4 fouls on them. And West gets that one to fall in as well. Now it's a 12-point lead at 55-67 Rice Lake. 1:10 to play. Newell, bring the ball down the court, get it to Steph Smith. Smith over to Newell. Newell fires for 3, can't get it to go. Rebound to McGee. McGee fouled by Dan Kelly, and he will go to the line for 2. McGee has clocked plenty of minutes in this game, but has yet to score a point. He'll go to the line here for 2. And he gets it to fall in. Dan Schieffer comes into the game for Rice Lake. Chrisman will sit down. McGee hits the second as well, and now it's a 14-point lead at 69-55. 58 seconds left to play. Herrick inbounds it to Newell. Try to save some clock there. Newell over to Smith. Smith fires from 3, but he's blocked. And Rice Lake will come up with the basketball. Fired ahead to Elwood Ellenson, who's going to try to dunk. And he doesn't pull it down. He wanted the foul and probably deserved it. Basket there by Angel. And now the Raiders will turn it over once again. Ellenson still asking for a foul, but the foul on Kelly, that's his 3rd, and McGee will go back to the line. And McGee, once again, touches every piece of the rim before getting it to fall in. Elwood Ellenson will sit down with that smile on his face that we've seen all night long. He wanted the foul, didn't get it. McGee drops that one in as well. .33 seconds left, 73-55 Rice Lake. Here comes Alex Newell. He fires for 3, can't get it to go. Rebound to Rice Lake. And Kelly's going to defend here. Tries to strip it away. The Raiders aren't going to foul anymore, but they're going to at least defend. Rice Lake will work it down low. Alex Newell comes up with the basketball. He's going to take it coast to coast, and he will draw the foul and go to the line with 7.5 seconds left in the game. So Angel called for the foul, and Newell will go to the line for 2. First trip to the stripe for Newell. 10 points tonight. Make it 11. 73-56 now. Rice Lake with the lead. 7.5 seconds left. These points are just for the stat book. And Newell misses that one. Pulled down by the Warriors, and that's going to be your game. 2 seconds left, and the buzzer. So your final score, 73-56. Rice Lake keeps its perfect record intact, and the Hudson Raiders drop another one in conference. So the Raider basketball team once again heading to Edina, and then they'll play in a tournament in Wausau next week, but before they pick up their conference schedule in early January, they will host Chippewa Falls in early January. The next boys game here on the River Channel will be January 11th, a Chippewa Falls game. It'll air that week here on the River Channel. The next few weeks, you can tune in for girls basketball action here on the River Channel. Let's pick up the scoring here for the game. For Rice Lake, it's Wittes with 2, Adam West with 4. Sean McGee with 4. Henry Ellenson with 31 points. Chrisman with 15. Elwood Ellenson with 15. And that gets them to their 73. For the Raiders, it's Alex Newell with 11. Dan Kelly with 2. Miles Lewis with 6. Jake Giordana with 2. Alex Herink with 9 points. Steph Smith with 10. Jordan Bellinger with 4. And Matthew Sparstead with 12 points. We hope you enjoyed tonight's basketball game. The Raiders fall to Rice Lake 73-56. We will see you next week for girls basketball action.